my darlings, I hope you're all doing very, very well. In today's video, I'm doing a Tattoo Enthusiast Reacts To. I gave my producer an actual tattoo by the channel Tom Scott Plus. I'm unfortunately unaware of Tom Scott. It seems that he has two channels from my research, and he does these very interesting videos, like one he uploaded on his main channel a day ago. It says, why do YouTubers clap at start of videos? I actually do that. Spoiler alert, it's to, well, for me, it's to align my audio to my camera audio so everything syncs up correctly. And he's got videos like how the US Postal Service reads terrible handwriting, can you really drive while facing backwards? That's all on his main channel. He seems like what I would call a experimental YouTube channel where he deep dives into specific random topics. But then on his other YouTube channel, Tom Scott Plus, which is the channel where the video I'm reacting to is on, mouthful, he has stuff like, we tried the hot one sauces, it was painful, I'm scared of roller coasters, can I get over my fear? Tom Scott gets set on fire by an expert stunt team. So yeah, he's just got an array of videos here. But the one that has been highly, and I mean highly requested for me to react to is I gave my producer an actual tattoo. So by the looks of things, Tom Scott is not a professional tattoo artist. He seems like a professional experimenter, okay? So I feel like this has just been done for a video. I have no idea what's happening here. All I've seen is when people recommend that I react to this, that it's actually not a bad video. So I'm very much hoping that this isn't done in some shed somewhere, okay? Because he seems like the experimental type that would do something crazy, okay? So get comfy, get cozy, get your beverages, get your snacks. I feel like this is going to be a long one because this video is 27 minutes long, okay? And with the way I ramble on, oh boy.
There's nothing more I can do to prepare for this.
Then let's go for it.
Okay. Not convinced by how shaky my hand is.
Okay, so that was like an intro to the whole video there. It looks like it's done in a tattoo studio setup, which, okay, first impression, I'm impressed, okay? So it looks like a good environment. So we're not in a shed, we're not in a kitchen, we're not in someone's bedroom tattooing on a fluffy towel, okay? So first impression, okay, I'm impressed.
If all goes well, in a few hours' time, I am going to be tattooing someone. This is Tash and Gaia.
I'm Tash, Gaia. We're from Lost Fox Tattoo, and we are going to be training Tom for the next few hours.
Okay, amazing. So it is a tattoo studio, and by the sounds of things, they're probably tattoo artists as well, and they will be supervising and training Tom in this situation. So again, props. We're in the right situation. We have the right guidance. Interesting. Okay.
Do I need to say don't try this at home? Because not only is it unsafe to do this without all the facilities we've got here, we had to go through legal and insurance and permitting stuff to do this. If you don't have that support, do not try this.
So they have fully gone around this the right way. I am impressed and I am shocked because I have never seen this before. I have never seen someone do everything to make sure that this is legal and safe and okay. And then we have people on TikTok or YouTube that will just do it with no thought whatsoever. I like their safety precautions. I like the warning that they give. Of course, as always, people are going to do what they want to do, unfortunately. But as I said in my previous Tattoo Enthusiast Reacts To a YouTube video, I'm sure you know the one, in my opinion, it's our job as creators to, you know, show safe practices, to show safety and to give out warnings of how dangerous some things could be. It's not something that should be taken lightly ever.
This video was entirely my idea.
Okay.
I've got a few tattoos already, and I just thought it would be fun to see if Tom could give me one as well.
Love that. Okay, so this is the producer. Their name's Han, and by the looks of things, yes, they do already have some tattoos. So an extra one never hurts really, does it? So no matter how this goes, it'll just blend in with the rest of their tattoos, if that makes any sense. So well done for volunteering. And I love that that is their idea as well. That's pretty cool.
So, hands washed.
Okay.
I assume everything else here is going to be sanitised first.
Yes.
All right.
So gloves on.
I love the stress and how important it is to Tom and the tattoo artist that, you know, their hands are washed, things are sanitary. So honestly, we're on to a good start so far.
I'm going obviously from 0 to
Okay, so gloves.
hopefully
Gloves.
tattooing in one day. How long would this normally take?
Depends how brave your friends are.
That's right.
If you got lots of willing friends from early on that are like, you know what, yeah, cool, you can give me a... Because the sooner you start on real skin, it kind of accelerates it.
So the quicker you get to actual human skin, the better. That sounds really weird when I
Yeah,
put it like that.
when you stop like tattooing the neighbourhood cats and you start tattooing human.
Yeah, don't be tattooing live animals, okay? Don't be doing that. But yeah, I like how Tom is asking important questions here, like how long would this normally take? Because he's highlighting the fact that what he's doing right here, you know, learning to tattoo in a day, it's definitely not normal. You should not be learning to tattoo in one day, okay? But I'd say on average, it takes like, what, anything from like 3 months to like 2 years, depends on who you are as a person, how many days you do the apprenticeship, because a lot of apprentices have part-time jobs as well to make more money and what have you. So it entirely depends.
And this is synthetic skin then? This is...
Yeah, it feels really weird.
I know.
It's weird.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
weirdly
that is-
skin-like, yeah.
I love that. So they're getting him to practice on fake skin before he even tattoos his producer, which is amazing. Again, so we're easing him in very, very slowly there, which is great. I've never touched fake skin before, and I'm so curious to know what it actually feels like. Because I've never even thought about that before. Like, what does it feel like?
There's still a very big difference because it doesn't stretch in the same way that real skin stretches.
Right.
But it's a good place to start.
That's a good point that I've never actually thought about, because with skin, you can move it all over the place. You can twist it, turn it, stretch it. And with fake skin, it's kind of just like, to me, it just looks like a sheet of like rubber. Obviously, it's a bit more complex than that, but it just doesn't look like you can do much with it, you know? So I feel like that's probably why a lot of people do practice on fruit and stuff, because it's got more of a shape to it.
Rotary machine, so it's just got a little motor inside. So this doesn't look like your standard, what you'd expect.
I had a picture in my head of what a tattoo gun looked like.
Oh God. He said the dreaded word that I just don't like, and I don't know why. It's just an instant reaction for me just to not like that word. I hate it. Because I think, like, the majority of the people in the UK do say tattoo machine. I hope, anyway. I don't know. And I think he's from the UK. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's... Tom, darling. It's so weird that his name is Tom because my boyfriend's name is Tom. So it feels like I'm speaking to my boyfriend right now. But Tom, okay? It's a tattoo machine, darling, okay? It doesn't shoot anything. A gun is a shooting mechanicism. I can't say that word. Mechanicism. Oh, am I okay? Just imagine saying sewing gun instead of sewing machine. It doesn't sound right? You know, like a sewing machine kind of has the same mechanics, you know, like stabbing in and out kind of thing. But yeah, anyway. And by the sounds of things, Tom is a complete and utter tattoo novice here, but I'm sure he probably went into this thinking he was using the old school tattoo machines there, you know, because a lot of people are stepping up and using the tattoo pens.
So now we're just wrapping the part that you
Yes.
hold with some grip tape. This is just to help you grip it, and it also just secures everything.
Amazing. Okay, and I like also how these tattoo artists are fully talking him through absolutely everything and saying why they're doing it, because it's helpful and educational to Tom and people watching it and all of that. This has also made me aware that when I watch people tattoo themselves in my like TikTok reaction video, I never notice people wrap their machine like that. Like, never. It's extremely rare that someone would do that.
Can I hold that?
You can.
My gloves are still safe, so...
Yeah.
So I've just kind of gone into my normal pen hold there. Is that right?
So-
Or how do I need to hold this?
The way that I usually hold the machine would be more like kind of You've got a tighter grip on it than you would a pen.
Okay.
And making sure that you've got a lot of like coverage on it rather than just holding it like a pencil like this.
Again, that is something I notice a lot of people who are teaching themselves to tattoo will do. They'll just hold it like a pen, and you will not have enough control with that because tattoo machines vibrate quite violently. So you need a lot more control there, and you'll get a lot more structure with your line work and stuff like that.
A lot of what you do comes from your wrist, but when you're tattooing, it comes more from your elbow.
Okay.
Because it keeps it straighter. So if you hold it like a pencil, the temptation is always there to like...
Amazing. Okay, so I've just learned something new, because I would have thought it would come from the wrist also. So I have just learned something new. Is it okay for me to admit that I like this video already? Like, obviously we haven't started, but I feel like this is being done very, very well. And don't get it twisted, I always disagree with people learning to tattoo quickly or by themselves or whatever, like in a weird, for content kind of thing. But this is in such a controlled and safe environment. Oh dear. I didn't think I would. But you never know, something might happen where I'm like, oh, that's a bit iffy. We'll find out.
If you give the whole bed a good spray.
Cleanliness. Don't see this on TikTok. Like, how often do you see people do this on TikTok that isn't a professional tattoo artist? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, never. So again, I love that they're highlighting, safety, sanitary measures here. Like, that's the key importance. Even though he's just only probably about to go and tattoo fake skin, which doesn't have feelings, can't get an infection, but it's a great practice to get that, routine drilled in your head from day one. Okay,
I just got a massive static shock off that.
Yeah, that happens.
Obviously, a lot of tattoo artists will work freehand, but presumably you can print out a design and then follow the lines along for someone like myself?
Oh, it's actually pretty rare that you would freehand.
Okay.
I'd say in 99% of instances you would use a stencil.
For the most part, most artists will follow a stencil. Sometimes they will freehand little extra bits in, but for the most part, they will use a stencil as a guide. Otherwise, things might become uneven. Say if you're doing like a head-on portrait, if you don't have a stencil to follow, you might have one eye up here, one eye down there. This side of the nose is thinner, this side of the nose is thicker. And with, say, something like a portrait, even though, well, this would probably be more aimed towards like traditional styles, neo-traditional and all of that. Because with realism, you want people's face to look as real as possible, and not everyone's face is symmetrical, obviously. But with traditional, neo-traditional styles like that, you want it to be symmetrical, because if it isn't, it looks incredibly off. So you have to have those stencils, obviously.
So we've got everything cling filmed.
Yeah.
We've got the soap, towels, tattoo machine, ink. Anything we're missing?
Nope, this is all you'll need.
All right, and a needle, presumably.
my hair.
A needle.
You need a needle.
He seems so incredibly sweet and wholesome. I really like this guy. He's lovely.
So we'll take them out of the
Amazing.
casing in a minute and have a look. We can push the needle out and see all the individual needles inside.
Because right now that just looks like one thick needle.
What I love here, again, is the fact that they're showing that these needles, cartridges, are wrapped. They're sanitary. They've never been used before, and they're really much highlighting that because they have this close-up shot of it. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but it pleases my little heart so much to see that, again, this is all being done properly.
Just kind of sunk in for me that this is like an actual, like, effectively a medical treatment device. Like, this is a really serious thing that if all goes well, I am going to be piercing someone's skin with.
Oh my God, I love this man. He gets it. He freaking gets it. Why does no one else take it this seriously? Please. Like, everyone else takes it so nonchalantly, like on TikTok, YouTube, where people just tattoo themselves in the worst conditions. And it's just like, whatever, it's an aesthetic thing, I don't care. But he gets it. It is so close to being a medical procedure because you're dealing with needles, with bodily fluids, blood, there's the risk of contamination. It is pretty dang dangerous. And if you give someone an infection, like that person could, and I sound dramatic when I say this, that person could possibly die. Because if that person gets sepsis, that sometimes, if it's not treated correctly, leads to organ failure, which leads to death. okay? It is incredibly serious. I'm glad this, at least that section, is on the internet right now, because it really does highlight, you know, how serious it is. And I'm glad he's taking this incredibly seriously. Yes, Tom.
Dip into the ink just a little bit.
Okay.
And you'll see it kind of shoot up into the cartridge.
Oh,
There
yeah.
it goes.
That just fills the cartridge. Again, I don't know if that'll have shown up on camera, but it like bloomed
Yeah.
up. So that's now loaded and ready to go.
Yeah, so you want to just give it a gentle wipe on the paper that you've got.
That's it, get rid of the excess. Love that. Again, I love how there is close-ups of this. We're seeing the whole process here, and it's just like, look at the machine. Right, let's just look at a screenshot of this. Look at this station. This is a professional and proper station, and how it should be. Look at that machine and how it's wrapped. Look at the squeezy bottle there. It's wrapped. The whole station is wrapped. Okay, this is just beautiful in my opinion. It's amazing, okay? And I'm gonna say it again also, but I love how these tattoo artists are literally talking him through everything and educating him in the same breath.
You want to grab a little bit of the Vaseline, put it down onto the skin with your little finger, I'd say.
Yep. I need to keep that away from me.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh my god, he knows the importance of safety here. He's like, I've got to keep that machine away from me, I don't want to stab myself, which is completely true. Even though that needle hasn't touched anything yet apart from ink, still, if he was tattooing someone else, the first thing you've got to think of is you want to keep that needle as far away from you as possible, because you don't want to touch that needle anywhere near your skin, because if you pierce yourself after tattooing someone or while tattooing someone, you know, you are then putting their bodily fluids into you. Disgusting. Don't want to do that. Health hazard. So again, I'm glad he's very cautious.
You want to make contact, and then you want to go maybe a millimeter lower than that.
Wow. I expected more resistance.
You're dealing with
I expected much more resistance.
Yeah, you're dealing with a very sharp needle here. It's gonna be easy to tattoo. That will pierce through fake skin very, very easy, because you have the sharpness of the needle and then the pressure of the tattoo machine as well, because that moves so freaking quickly. It's like spreading butter, you know? So easy. But what I find adorable is his hesitation to start off with. He's kind of like, okay.
That felt like it was too deep. I felt like resistance.
Was it the noise?
Yeah.
Sometimes the noise can be a bit scary at first, but I don't actually think that did look very deep. He might be moving a bit
I think
fast.
the reason...
Yeah. I was going to say, he looks like he's moving very quick there. Like I've said in quite a few videos, slow and steady wins the race. You don't need to speed it. It's not like drawing with a pen or a pencil. You really have to be slow, because that way you get that smooth line or curve or whatever you're doing, and you won't get this like skipping effect or somewhat dot work. It looks like terrible dot work, basically, if you don't take your time with it. Okay, good.
Wow,
that was amazing.
That was really good.
Really?
Yeah.
That was incredible. That was the correct speed, the correct, like, what's the right word for this? Like, controlled. He was very controlled there. The line looked amazing.
That felt right. I don't know why.
Wow.
A lot of tattooing is just feeling. You can feel when it's wrong, you can feel when it's right.
Okay.
That's brilliant.
That's amazing.
That's really good.
Do you want a job?
Oh, he's so wholesome. Oh, I love this guy. He's already picking it up pretty quickly, which, I don't know, I feel strangely very proud. I think it does help that he does have these artists near him being like, right, you need to do this, like giving him tips and tricks on how to make his life better and make this process easier for him to get better results.
It's a solid line.
Yeah. And also, you aren't a printer. You can't draw a perfectly straight line.
Yeah.
It's not possible, but that's a very straight line.
This is so freaking true. It is incredibly hard to get a line straight. I have said this many times. It takes artists many years to perfect it. Sometimes people are just naturally talented and they can do a nice straight line. And that's why I always fangirl over artists that can do incredibly straight lines or really smooth line work. And it's just like, how do you do this? Because it doesn't seem humanly possible in any way, shape or form. That's why I get so excited about tattoos, because I'm like, wow, a person did that? Like, when they're good, obviously.
If you go too light, you can go over it again if you're really precise, right?
Yeah.
What happens if you go too deep?
So if you go too deep, there's less that can be done because you can end up with a blowout. A blowout is when too much ink enters in the same place and doesn't have anywhere to go, so it spreads.
This is nothing but facts. The way that they're telling Tom stuff that not many people know is amazing, because I'm willing to bet a lot on the fact that the people that train themselves to tattoo, you know, or they tattoo themselves in their bedrooms or whatever, they don't know all of this stuff and they're just going at it like it's nothing. I love that Tom asks these questions. It seems like he has this incredible desire to learn everything and to know as much as he most possibly can, and I love that. Okay, we have some fabulous practicing moments right here. Love that. So he is going ham on this fake skin right now. He's trying to do as much as he most possibly can with circles, triangles, just trying out different shapes, which is the best way to start, honestly, because once you get the shapes down, you can then incorporate those shapes into images. Do you know what I'm saying? So again, he's starting off with the basics.
So let's talk about stencils. How does that work?
So it's literally just, we print it straight from our iPads to the printer. So anything that you've drawn on there will come out with stencil ink. You transfer it onto the skin and it will just kind of like stick on, transfer, and you can just trace over it.
The fact that he's asking these questions, because he doesn't seem to know much about tattooing at all, I love it, because if it was someone like, say, me doing this kind of video, say I went to a tattoo studio and was like, hey, teach me how to tattoo in a day, right? I would know all of this and it wouldn't make for good content, because I would be like, oh no, you don't need to explain the stencil process, I'm aware. You don't need to explain to me about blowouts and going too deep and all of that, because I'm aware. I don't think it would make for good content. Does that make any sense? Like, this is incredibly interesting because this is someone that has no knowledge at all. And I think that's what makes this video great. I'm normally, again, against this kind of thing where someone learns to tattoo in a day and it's all a bit like, but it kind of makes for good content in this environment. Do you know what I'm saying? Am I making sense? Let me know your thoughts.
These are some stencils that I've printed out for you.
So I'm not tattooing that ink in. I'm still using the same ink, same needle, same everything. This is just a guide and that's just,
it's just
safe to use.
Yeah, it's a guidance specially formulated for this exact purpose and this exact purpose only.
Again, that is a question I wouldn't have asked because I know that. And I feel like Tom probably doesn't have an audience full of tattooed people as such. Like, obviously, some of his audience have tattoos or whatever. But for the people that maybe don't know much about tattooing, they're also learning about this kind of thing. I feel like this video is very educational, not just for Tom, but people watching.
So on the skin.
So first, we're spraying some alcohol.
All right. I'm going to put this up top here so I can stretch the skin properly. So.
Amazing. So he's going to do his first stencil tattoo, his first stenciling process. I'm excited because he's gone from freehanding shapes and what have you to now following a guide.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you're going to want to peel it off.
Oh, that just come on off.
A little bit leaky there.
Yeah, it's really hard on fake skin. That would have come out perfectly on normal skin.
All right.
Okay, well, that is something I didn't know. I didn't know that putting stencil on fake skin is a bit more difficult than on regular skin, which I kind of... does that make sense? I don't know, because I don't know the texture of fake skin, I can't really comment on it, but I would imagine fake skin to feel a little bit like rubbery and shiny, so it would be a bit more difficult. Does that make sense? I could be wrong, though. This is me learning something. Okay, he's going a bit quick.
Oh, that was wobbly.
I know exactly why it was wobbly. I saw you lift your elbow.
Ooh.
Right. All right.
There we go. So again, Tom has some great guidance there. The artist is like, okay, I see what you did there. This is wrong. So now that's in Tom's mind to know not to do that, and that will help him in the long run.
Oh, that was awesome.
That felt so much
That
better.
was so good, wasn't
With
it?
a guide to go, that was so much better. I mean, it's not...
That was really
I tucked
good.
in a bit there and I shouldn't have done, but
I was
that
inspired.
felt a lot better.
Oh, I love this. The fact that he's got 2 professional cheerleaders there watching over him, making sure he's doing good to support him and, you know, give him the confidence boost that he probably needs. I don't want to be like horrible, but he seems quite nervous about the whole situation, which makes sense because he knows how serious this can be.
I mean, it does look a little bit like a serial killer writing the name at this point. I'll take it, but it's not the straight lines I had right at the start.
Again, Rome wasn't built in a day, Tom, all right? Like, you'll do good things, you'll do bad things. With everything, nothing is linear, okay? You're always going to have peaks and dips, right? So yeah, you'll do one perfect line and then your next line is probably going to be atrocious and then the next one's going to be okay and then the next one will probably be bad again and then the one after that might be good. It's going to be like this until you perfect it, and unfortunately, Tom, you ain't going to learn to perfect this in a day. Not possible. It's all about practicing. Practice, 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 practice.
By the looks of it, you're feeling a little bit more comfortable with curves.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
The
cool.
straight line is solid.
Yeah.
It's matching it and it's stopping at that point so it doesn't look like
Yeah.
someone's scratching away.
Getting that, the curve on that tee looks amazing. So I think, you know, little flower with some petals and
Are you sure about this?
100% sure.
Oh, he's such a sweetheart to be like, okay, are you sure that you want to do this? And then the producer's just like, yeah, like you're doing good. This is great. I don't like tattooed people, honestly, for the most part, do not care. Okay. They'll be willing to have any kind of tattoo. I honestly would be happy to volunteer in this kind of situation. I'm like, yeah, you want to tattoo me? I've got a little gap here, go for it. You know, this is in a controlled, safe environment. I'd be more than happy to volunteer a bit of my skin to Tom, okay?
We should just make clear this is tattoo, like, very, very basics, 101, simplest thing there is. I'm learning the very first step. Don't try this.
I love how there's another disclaimer right there in the middle of the video.
I'm absolutely comfortable where we're at, seeing what you've done here and, you know, knowing that you're going to be doing this exact stencil, like, over and over and over again. I feel, yeah, very, very much comfortable.
He seems so genuinely worried and, like, concerned, and like the safety and the happiness of his producer and the people around him is his main concern right now. I kind of just want to give him a hug and just be like, it's all going to be okay. You're fine. You've got this. Okay, so we're practicing. What are we practicing here? They're like, okay. Flowers? We're doing the tattoo stencil design thing then. Yeah, okay. Amazing. So by the looks of things, Tom is going to be practicing the tattoo he's going to be doing on his producer multiple times just to make sure he's comfortable with doing that.
Of course I'm going to be critical of it because I'm critical of everything like that. I can point out a dozen things wrong with that. But we've come a long way from that wonky one just there.
Yeah.
I love him. Oh my God, he is taking this so seriously and he really truly wants to do as best as he most possibly can. And he's not doing too bad at all. He should be so proud of himself.
It's not going to be perfect.
Yeah,
Good.
but if you look at some of them, like this one,
Incredible.
That one was lovely. That was like the second one I
I know,
did.
it's
and it just-
amazing. But in all of them, there are bits of it where you go, that's remarkably good. There are bits that maybe you might want to do a little bit of touching up on.
The fact that he is doing this over and over again shows commitment. He's doing what I would say is a pretty easy design to do. You just do like a little curved line, some like shapes, and that makes out a flower. He hasn't been set up for failure either. It's not like he's doing a portrait of the Mona Lisa, okay? Like this has been done in a way that's easy for everybody. It's stress-free. I mean, I'm sure Tom is a little bit stressed right now, but for everyone involved, it's a little bit more stress-free.
After hours and many little drawings of flowers, what do you think? Can I do this safely?
Yes, I think that you have nailed the health and safety and you're really nailing it. You've really taken it all in.
Again, I love that he's asked, okay, so from your professional opinion, do you think I can do this? Because I honestly think that if they said no, or no, we don't feel comfortable with you doing this, he would be like, right, cool, that's fine. I'm walking away. I truly believe that that is the kind of guy Tom is, honestly. He's kind of asking for that reassurance, and it's good for us to see that this, you know, is being taken as seriously as it most possibly can. We're not having like you say, oh my God, I see these videos on like YouTube or whatever. I think I've reacted to a few where like influencers will go to a tattoo studio and be like, oh, hey man, can I like, you know, tattoo my friend for, you know, content? And it's just not taken seriously at all. And everyone's laughing and giggling, and just the environment is terrible. But this is mature. This is the best way of saying it. This is a mature video, and I'm all about it. I'm sorry, I'm all about it.
So, Han,
Yes.
I am confident that I can do this without hurting you.
Yes.
Tom, darling. Newsflash. Tattoos hurt. I know what he's saying, but the way I took that instantly was like, yeah, sorry, tattoos hurt, love. Okay, like... But I know what he's trying to say. He's saying, I can do this without, you know, possibly giving you an infection, without seriously harming you. I feel confident in doing that. I feel like I've got enough information here for me to be able to tattoo you right now.
Yeah.
I've got maybe a 70-80% hit rate on each of these lines.
Could you imagine going to a tattoo artist and you want like black work, line work, and they're just like, okay, cool, yeah, we love your idea, put the stencil on, all of that. Oh, by the way, I have about a 70 to 80% chance that this is going to be okay, but you know, like that 30 to 20% chance is there that, you know, the lines are going to be messed up. So you'll have like a 70% good tattoo, and then some of the lines are going to be shaky and patchy and all over the place, but it's fine. It's totally fine. Could you imagine? I'd be out of there so quickly.
All of these are definitely in a fixable state. And
Okay.
obviously we're going to be here, we're going to be watching, and if there is anything that you're not comfortable or confident to touch up, we can do that for sure.
Amazing. I love that they're offering that service as well. So if things go wrong, or if the tattoo looks incredibly bad, the artists are like, it's okay, we're here to fix it. We're here to guide you. And should the producer want a touch up or whatever, or it does just look terrible, they're there to fix it, which is something you don't have the opportunity of having when you teach yourself to tattoo. You end up having to go to a tattoo studio with your tail between your legs, and you're like, please help me, I tattooed myself, it looks terrible, please can you fix it?
I've already set you up a station over there. It's all correctly set up, sanitised, ready to go. So we're just going to move you from this bed to that bed.
And sanitization is a huge importance here. Again, because they're doing this in a tattoo studio and they've had to go through special requirements to make this video happen through like insurance and stuff. It is so important that they do this correctly, because this tattoo studio could close down. If anything is done incorrectly, and there's like video evidence of it on the internet as well, say goodbye to your business. Okay, like the UK is pretty strict about that kind of thing. So
First thing we do is
Disinfect me.
disinfect.
amazing.
Thank you.
Something you do not see on
I've got
TikTok.
surgical assistants here. Thank you, folks. That's the cleanest stencil we've had yet. Okay.
And it looks really
I'll hand
Love
that
that.
over to you
Good
there.
placement
All right,
as well.
So, one more time. Are you 100% okay with that being there?
Yes, I'll do what you always do when you go and get a tattoo, which is you go stand, have a look in the mirror,
Okay.
and just go,
Take it for a test
yeah,
drive.
I think that suits me.
Take it for a spin around the
I love that. He kind of looked a little bit worried then when she was like, I'm just going to go to the mirror. And he's kind of like, oh, why? That's just what you do when you get a tattoo. You've got to check in the mirror, see if you like the placement and stuff. It is kind of difficult though, because everything is backwards in the mirror, if that makes sense. You kind of have to look down, look at the mirror, look down, look at the mirror.
You want to hover, not sink in. You want to go slow, and you want to look at where you're going.
Yeah.
Not convinced by how shaky my hand is.
First thing, I love that the artist is literally standing over him, watching like a hawk. Nothing is going to get past this artist. They're going to see everything. And then the other artist is down by the producer as well. So they both have different bird's eye views of what's happening. You've got one from this angle and one from this angle. So they can see everything, which is fantastic. The way that he's hesitating is adorable, and I completely understand it, because this This is crunch time. This is go time. This is where things can go wrong. Oh, bit quick, bit quick, bit quick. Very, very quick. Yeah, I would say he needs to slow down a little bit. I feel like, I don't know, see, when I'm like anxious or panicking or whatever, I do things quickly. Does that make any sense? Like I kind of rush, you know, because I just want to get it done. And I feel like that's the kind of mind frame he's in at the minute. He kind of just needs to take a deep breath and just know that he's in a very safe environment. This is the safest environment he can be in right now.
How was that?
Well done.
There's more wobble than I'd like.
It's
But
all right.
that was not... That's... I can see where my hand shook. Mm-hmm. But we got a line.
He's so proud of himself. He's like, I may have messed up a little bit here, but we have a line. It's fine. I'm pretty sure the producer knows that they're not going to be getting a perfect tattoo here. And they signed up for that. And it's fine.
From my point of view, that felt like every other
Okay,
tattoo
that's a
I've
good
ever
sign.
had.
Good
That's...
Wasn't more painful.
All right.
Yeah.
It was.
All right. It's not perfectly inkjet printer smooth, but it is on the line.
I'd be a bit freaked out if it
Yes.
was.
It's on the line.
I love it. I don't really have anything else to add to this at the moment because I'm going to start repeating myself again, but I'm just enjoying it. I really am.
Oh, Tom,
That was
That
great.
felt good.
That was so good.
That felt good.
That was really
Gonna
I'm
wipe
sorry.
it?
It's wonderful. I'm not looking at it at the end.
That's a solid line.
Oh.
I said it was
Love
about
that.
like
I'm so proud of
80%
him.
chance on each line. So far, we've got like a 3 out of 5. We've got I think that's about the best you're going to get here. I'm happy with that.
I feel like he's getting a little bit more comfortable now with the situation. I feel like he's like loosening up a little bit more. Yeah, I can just imagine that first line is incredibly scary. Well, maybe the first couple of lines are going to be incredibly scary, but I think he's now getting a feel for it and how, you know, a body works with tattooing because he has only been practicing on fake skin. A body is completely different. Bit fast.
That felt a little fast at the
It
start.
was a bit fast. Have a little wipe and see how it went in. Not bad.
It's a little bit patchy at the very start. I think I'd prefer to leave it that way for a professional
That's absolutely
rather than
fine.
try a second line
yeah.
on that.
Yeah.
Amazing. Oh my God, yes. I love that. He's like, I've done this. I honestly don't feel comfortable with going over it and touching it up in any way, shape or form. And he's leaving it. Incredible. Because I'm sure there is plenty of people out there that would get cocky and that's where mistakes are made. They'll try and do like the touch up will go over it and it will just end up being even worse. So I like his honesty and the fact that he's not gonna, you know, sacrifice the integrity of this person's skin to be cocky or arrogant and to be like, oh yeah, I can do this. No, he's been like, right, that's it. I don't feel comfortable anymore. We're gonna carry on, but I'm not going over that.
I'm not sure on that one. We'll see.
A little bit light on this.
A little bit light. Let me just... It's all there, though. It's all there.
It's good that he admits when he thinks he's done something wrong as well. Because again, like I was saying, there are plenty of people out there that will get incredibly cocky and just be like, oh yeah, you know, I'm like the dog's bollocks and I can do this and fuck y'all. It's incredibly admiring to see someone be vulnerable like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's very rare on the internet nowadays. Okay.
That
was smooth.
speed was much better.
That speed was much better. I'm going to go for the next one because I'm set up for it.
Okay.
All right.
He's on a roll.
Number 4.
Yeah, happy.
Bit quick.
No.
Nope. I like how he was like, nope. He knew that he kind of messed up there. He was like, nope.
I missed on some of that.
It's okay.
I just flat out, I was not deep enough and your skin was moving away and I didn't realise that. So
That's
I'm going to wipe
okay.
that
Yep.
and I'm going to see if that's a thing I can patch up or whether I give to you.
Yeah, yeah, happy for you to try patching it up if you know exactly, you know.
Oh yeah, you've got that.
Yeah.
That was like a total miss. So
That
you
was
can
just a total miss.
So you
Okay.
can.
Yep, I just forgot that skin is 3-dimensional. That was on me.
This is the thing I even forget about. You know, I just forget that a tattoo artist has got so much to work with working with body parts like legs and stuff because they're so curved. So they'll be doing a line and they have to take into account that, you know, like they have to work with the curvature, but make sure they don't go too deep or do it too lightly. Like, this is things I completely forget. And I love the fact that he's like, okay, I'm going to look at it, assess the situation. If I feel comfortable with, you know, fixing this, I will. If not, I'm going to leave it up to you. Great. Bit quick.
Sorry, Han. It's good. It's not a disaster, but again, the skin's three-dimensional. It got away from me. So let's wipe that. We started so well.
Oh, I think at this point, probably getting a bit too much into his own head, if that makes sense. Like, he's overthinking it, which is like so freaking understandable. I would be the exact freaking same. I'd be overthinking it because you sometimes take a few blows where he's done a few mistakes here and there, and then that starts playing on your mind and you start thinking, oh, I'm going to do that again. You don't think of the positive of, okay, I know what I've done wrong. This is how I fix it. You start thinking of, I'm going to do that again. This is terrible. Oh my gosh, I shouldn't be doing this. Like, I feel like he might be a bit of an overthinker. I could be reading into this too much, I don't know, but from one overthinker, I can sometimes spot another overthinker. Do you know what I'm saying?
I think that might be the best one of the flowers that I've done.
Yeah.
It's not perfect, not by a long way. There's a little bit of wobble here and there, but there's nothing in there that I know you can't fix.
Yeah.
And
I'm so freaking proud of him. Oh my God, he's doing amazing. I love his enthusiasm. I love that he's taking this so freaking seriously.
That looks so good. Like, genuinely so good.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
some of the lines
shaky.
are a bit squiggly, but like, as a whole, like, that's one whole ass tattoo.
Oh, I'm so proud of him. Why do I feel like I want to do a little cry? Like, I mean, if we look at it close up, is it the worst tattoo I've ever seen? No. 100% no. It is shaky. It's wobbly. But I feel like this tattoo will have so much meaning, and I don't know, I really like it.
Well done. You did good.
That looks so good. Look at that.
Oh, I'm so freaking proud of him. Why do I feel like so, like, I feel emotions right now, you know, like. Yes, gotta take that picture.
a little bit closer.
Amazing. He's good at taking photos. Love that.
Truly.
It could have been better, but it could have been so much worse. Could you imagine how bad this would have turned out if there had not been the guidance and the training that he had received? Like, I don't want to even imagine it. It would be pure chaos. It would be horrific.
And it is looking as good as it did when you did it. I think that's often a good tell is, do bits kind of fade or peel off when it's healing? No. It looks fantastic.
It's looking so freaking good. That healed very nicely. Like, the saturation is amazing. I was expecting quite a bit of saturation loss, you know, in case he didn't go too deep or whatever. Now that it's healed, you can see that he did great. It was just the line work that he was a little bit shaky on, which is to be expected, honestly. But I feel like because he had the training there and he knew what he had to do, it looks so much better than it could have. Should he have not had the training, and by the looks of things there was no infections or anything like that, which again is an absolute massive bonus. And yeah, that's the end of the video. So I'm sure you can kind of get a gist of my thoughts here. I honestly do like this video a lot. Out of all the sort of tattoo artist virgin videos I've ever seen across all platforms, you know, YouTube, TikTok or whatever, this is my absolute favorite. And I feel like this is the way you go about, you know, doing tattoo content as someone that has never tattooed before, if you want to tattoo someone. And of course, I wouldn't advise everyone to go out and do this or whatever. I don't think many tattoo artists would probably agree to do something like this. And of course, that's completely their right. I truly hope a lot of people that have thought about tattooing themselves has seen this, or maybe will see this from, you know, me reacting to it, and reconsider tattooing themselves, you know, in their bedroom in horrible conditions, because from this you can just see how much actually goes into it, and we haven't seen everything. I don't think Tom was probably educated on, you know, cross-contamination, blood-borne pathogens and infections and all of that. Obviously that's like, God, days, weeks, months worth of training, you know, you can't cram it all into one day, but that is incredibly important, so I wanted to bring that up. But yeah, it was like a wholesome video, and I'm honestly not mad at it. you know, maybe it's because I have seen so many terrible things doing, you know, reaction videos when it comes to people tattooing themselves or tattooing people with no training, that I'm kind of like pleasantly surprised by this, and it feels like a breath of fresh air. Maybe if I hadn't seen all of those years worth of like terrible situations, I might have a different opinion. I don't know. I'm a fan of Tom now, honestly. Like, he seems great. Thank you so much to everyone that sent me this video or commented saying I need to look at this and react to it. And yeah, I hope you all stay safe and well, and until my next video, bye.